Hey guys, what's going on? Tackle Junkie 81 here for Mystery Tackle Box, and today I'm going to show you guys what baits and colors you should be tossing in stained to muddy water. Alright guys, the first thing you need to think about when fishing stained to muddy water is visibility is very, very low. Normally on this lake, it's typically pretty muddy and normally, 3 to 4 inches of visibility at best on this lake. But today, it's not too bad. I got this white chatterbait here. If I drop it down, I can maybe see it, maybe 8 to 10 inches. So today is more of a heavy stain, versus being muddy. But don't get me wrong, it's still pretty muddy. And like I said, visibility is very, very low. So when you're fishing a lake like this, you need to hit them on the head just because, again, they can't see that well. They're not out roaming around. They're going to be nosed up to something to feel safe just because they can't see that well. So if you're around brush or stumps or rock, whatever it is, you need to be fishing right next to it because most likely that's where the fish are going to be. And you need to hit all angles because there's no telling what side of the stump they're going to be on, okay? So when I start out, I like to use a couple reaction type baits, okay? And then I'll use a soft plastic as well. So if I do come up to a stump or some grass or something like that, I can pitch a soft plastic into it. And then between spots, I have a couple reaction baits to cover more water, all right? Now my go-to, or one of my go-to reaction baits, I would say, is either going to be a spinnerbait or a chatterbait. And usually when the water's warmer, I like a spinnerbait. When it's colder, I like the chatterbait. Unless I'm trying to cover water more quickly, then I like the chatterbait as I feel I can reel it faster, again, to cover more water. But even though I'm reeling it faster, you need to make sure that you're hitting the laydowns, the stumps and all that. Make sure you're right next to them, even though you're moving the bait fast. They'll still hit it, but again, you need to be right in the strike zone, like I said earlier, which is very, very small. So if you're just going to be chucking around a reaction type bait, just make sure you're in all the sweet spots of the cover that you're fishing. So a chatterbait is a great choice for these conditions. It's got a lot of noise with the blade banging against the head, a lot of vibration so they can feel it, but you need to make sure they can see it as well when the bait comes by them. And we got the Z-Man Elite chartreuse and white chatterbait there with the Biospawn lures, Exo Swim, new color there, chartreuse pepper. Definitely check them out at Carl's. But just a great bait to cover water with. Again, they can feel it, and if you're using the right color, they'll see it when it comes by them. So I'll just fish this around the lake, and basically what I'm doing today, I'm just junk fishing. I'll just fish the cover that I come across. Now I got some rock coming up here, so when I get up to that rock, I'm going to be switching over to a square bill. But right now, again, we got some scattered stumps, a little bit of grass. So the chatterbait is great in this situation here to cover some water quickly to see if I can find a few fish. All right guys, now that we've come up to some rock, there's no better bait in my mind to cover rock than a square bill. Again, it's a bait that you can, reel somewhat fast, cover a lot of water very quickly. And, if you're fishing rock, what you want to do is cast along the rock. That way you're in the strike zone the entire retrieve back. So again, we're making a cast there along the rock and just making sure that you're, again, bouncing off whatever it is that you're fishing around. If you're cranking around stumps, make sure you're bouncing off those stumps. And again, in this case, we're cranking rock, so I'm going to throw right along that rock and just make sure I'm hitting that rock on the entire retrieve all the way back to the boat. Something else you can do too is once you cover the rock going one way, go back the other. Again, angles everything. You just never know which way those fish are facing. So you might be able to pick off another fish or two if you go back on a different angle. As far as color selection goes, pretty straightforward, just like with chatterbaits. I like a shad type color, whether it be just like a white blackback or chartreuse blackback, red craw. I'm even done good, to be honest, with a black and blue crankbait. Today we're using the Carl's in a shad color. Again, you can check those out over at Carl's. They have the KVD 1.5s over there. I've got 𝗙𝗲𝗋𝗶𝗹s over there, so they have a nice selection over there. Definitely check those out. But again, main thing with a square bill is deflection. Just make sure that you're hitting whatever it is that you're fishing around. It's really tough to beat a square bill on rock. I like one with a rattle in it. This one's got a little one knocker in it, I believe. You guys can hear that. But again, really tough to beat a square bill along the rock. And we're just gonna keep fishing this rock here till we come to the end where we got some grass, and then we'll pick up a different bait. Now that we've made our way up to some grass, we're going to pick up a soft plastic craw. Today we're using the Biospawn Lures Vial Craw. You can use the Rage Craw, the Hoss, Saw Craw, Structure Bug. I mean, there's a bunch of different ones out there. over at Carl's. Definitely check those out. But I like a craw because, for one, it's got a lot of kicking action, so you're moving some water, fish can feel that. But two, because of that kicking action, that swimming action, you can actually cover the dead water once you've worked the grass line. As you're reeling it back to the boat, the craw is swimming, and again, you're just working that dead zone, and maybe you can pick off an extra fish or two. But with the craw, really, you can make it look like whatever you want just by your color selection and how you're working the bait. You know, so if you want it to look like a bluegill, you can kind of throw like that Bama craw type color. That green pumpkin orange works really well. You know, if you want to mimic a shad, you can throw a white. You know, I like a Bama bug, I like June bug, I like black and blue. Again, you just want something that will stand out, you know, with this water clarity. Really hard to beat a black and blue or a black neon. But again, we're just going to work the grass here, and then we'll just go ahead and swim it back to us in this dead water here, again, to see if we can pick off an extra fish or two. Just kind of hop it back, and you can drag it, or again, you can just even swim it depending what you're trying to mimic. But the bile craw, it's got a lot of kick to it, a lot of thump. It's a great bait for the situation. We're getting ready to come up to a little more rock here, so in a few seconds we'll pick up the square bill again and work that rock. And that's basically all I'm going to do all day, is just junk fish and work the cover that I come up to. And try the square bill real fast one more time. You believe that? Do you believe that? Do you believe that? Right where I wanted to cast. It's a good spot right there. And I'm right on the grass. That's fantastic. That is fantastic. Well guys, I just finished cranking that stretch. No takers yet. I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing here throughout the day, and hopefully I can pick off a few fish. But now, hopefully you guys know what baits and colors to use to fish that stained, that muddy water. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys. We will see you guys on the next one.